What top 1% are you in? According to Tetris.com's online version of Tetris, I am in the 1% of best players. I am pretty darn good. I mainly play Puyo Puyo Tetris and Tetris 99, but I'll do the online one if I'm desperate. According to Equifax, I have the worst credit in Canada. So am the 1% for that. Probably of youngest age, having received a pacemaker. I got my first one at 4 months and I'm on my third one. I'm 22. I'm one of the top 10 Hyundai technicians in the country. Nice job, sir. I mean, I've been in a plane crash and bitten by a shark, so can't imagine many other people have experienced both of those. I was never bitten by one, but a biologist once slapped me with a shark. Does that count? I am a redhead with blue eyes, autism, and astigmatism. I feel like that's rare enough. Redhead with blue eyes here too. Also colorblind, my mutant friend. It is okay, friend, we shall rise when the sun no longer shines. According to Spotify, I'm in the top 1% of Fall Out Boy listeners. I believe I'm part of the maybe 1% of the world's population who has killed a spider by shooting it with a rubber band while being in toilet. Similar. I've killed multiple bees with scissors by cutting them in half while flying. I was the third person ever to have an eye surgery that involved removing my eye, taking a tumor off of it, and putting it back in. I went for an exam with the surgeon that performed the operation 20 years later after it looked like it was coming back. I had a different kind of rare, but not as rare, tumor that didn't require surgery. While he was doing that examination, he informed me I am still the last one to have had that surgery. Survivor of an exceptionally rare cancer, my doctor called it 1 in 5 million. I was going to say nothing, but then I remembered I am ambidextrous. Interesting fact, ambidextrous people make up 1% of the population, while left-handed people make up 10% of the population. It's interesting that for as rare as ambidexterity is, it's only 1/10 as common as being a lefty. When I was a kid I used to write on the left page with my left hand, then swap on the right page. My teacher told me to stop and to only use my right. I can now only write with my right hand, but everything else I do left-handed or swap between either hands without noticing. Usually I don't have a dominant hand. I ended up being a graphic designer but cannot for the life of me put anything artistic down on paper. There's that theory that creatives are majority left-handed, and I always wonder how I would be if I kept writing with my left. I had the highest GPA in my university graduating class. Sounds great on paper, but it has been essentially useless thus far. Well, of course it sounds good on paper, that's what your degree is made out of, isn't it? Honestly, how much does your GPA in college really affect anything besides what classes you can take and scholarships? Not up, but it looks good on grad school and professional school applications. Can't imagine you'll get much use of it afterwards, especially for most folks after their first real job. Humans that my dog really loves. Top 1% of adult neuroblastoma patients in years who survived. Literally. Edit. Holy guacamole, guys, I did not think that this was going to happen. Thank you. But let me explain. I was diagnosed as an adult. Kids with stage 4 metastatic neuroblastoma still have a pretty low chance of surviving. It's the worst. But as an adult, the percentage plummets to the single digits. 5-year anniversaries for adult neuroblastoma survivors are less than 8%. 10-year anniversaries are at 0. I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary next month, after being given 3 months to live. Technically, I am not in the 1%, for those of you who are nitpicking my comment. I am still a patient, not a survivor. I meant to say that I have survived for years longer than I should have, not that the cancer is gone completely. I still have the cancer because it doesn't seem to want to go away, but it's not growing either. Also, I am not trying to take away from anyone else who has passed away from this horrible disease, or who has had it in the past, as some of you seem to think. If any of you want to talk about your cancer experiences, my messages are open to you. Most educated Native Americans. Probably top 0.1% really. We're horribly underrepresented in higher education and I'm about to get my PhD. Congratulations. I came here to post something similar. 1% of the Hondurans have university education, and now I just got accepted to do my master's in London. IQ. But the opposite direction. Chi? Unlikely. That would be an IQ of less than 57 and you would be well into the range of mentally impaired. Your ability to use a computer and spell 2 8-letter words correctly puts you well above that already. I'm in the 1% of people who can't handle antihistamines. I'm easily in the 1% of height at 6 feet 6 inches. Last I checked, I think only 1 in about 1,000 Americans are taller than me. 6'7" here. It's lonely at the top. I see people taller than me sometimes and think, damn, is that how ridiculous I look to most people? I make my little nephews laugh all the time, so I'd say I'm in the top 1% of comedians worldwide. I'm about to finish my PhD in nursing. Only 1% of all nurses get this degree. Aha! A doctor nurse. Didn't know what was possible. I got top 0.3% in the Australian maths competition. Assuming I haven't gotten worse, entirely possible, I'd probably qualify for that. Top 1% of people who have had it the best and easiest, in the entire world, throughout all of time. I always say this. I'm not rich, but I still have it better and have more opportunity, more security, more freedom, more privilege, than 99% of the world throughout 99% of history. P.S. A lot of people in the same boat as me don't realize they are. Edit. What makes my life better than 99% of all human beings ever? To name a few. 1. I have free speech, can vote, and had a free education, until college. Had the opportunity to go to college. 2. I get paid a fair wage for the work that I do and I've rarely been without work. 3. I get treated fairly at my job. 4. I've never really had to deal with seeing death or war in my actual, everyday life. 5. Modern medicine and I have health insurance. 6. I make enough money to have disposable income. I get lots of time off of work, like weekends, holidays, and vacations. 7. Access to clean, running water, electricity, internet, etc. I don't know. Basic shit like that. I mean so many more things, but that's what comes to mind first. I think I have a better shot at happiness than others have throughout the world or history. A lot of us do, but we don't realize it. Like someone else in this thread said, if you make more than 30K a year, you're in the top 1% in the world. Exactly. We are so fortunate. Easy to forget that sometimes. Beekeepers. There are approximately 125,000 in the US. That is 0.04% of the US population. My dad's a beekeeper. It's incredibly random. But if so little people do it, how do they have so many conventions? I was told after miscarrying 3 times that I was in menopause and that I would never get pregnant again. The chances were 1 in 10.000 for one child and 1 in 100.000 for another, and so on. We have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old now. Edit. I was 32 at the time. Not me, but a buddy in college had been struck by lightning on 6 separate occasions. At some point you have to wonder, dude, stop going outside during thunderstorms. Being able to recite digits of pi. I was really bored one summer and now I can recite it to 50 digits. After 39 digits of pi, a circle with the width of the entire universe would only be inaccurate due to rounding by less than the width of a hydrogen atom. 50 is more than enough. Nothing in the universe needs more accuracy than that. A lack of melanin. I'm like E.T. I make people's eyes water when they look at me at the beach. You could probably see my heart through my chest if it glowed. I'm the only member of my family that my cat trusts enough to sleep on the same bed. Are there 100 people in your family? Part of the 1% who has never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones in my life. I'm guessing I'm in the top 1% of hours of tattoos in the world. I've got 140 plus hours of tattoos, and considering the world's population, I bet I'm up there. Top 1% of being the most disappointing. People with brachymetacarpia, Google it, hard to explain, on their middle and ring fingers on both hands. My doctor did a search through his database, which he told me covers the US in terms of doctor stuff, to know if that's true, and didn't find an instance like mine. I am autistic and an identical twin, so I guess an existing? Does your twin have autism as well? Yes, he does. And we both have high-functioning autism. So you are Sherlock and Mycroft. I'm supposedly in the top 1% for IQ, which concerns and upsets me. Any world where I am considered intelligent has some problems. Same. The thought that 99% of people supposedly are dumber than me is quite scary. I mean, just this morning I couldn't find my coffee cup, which I had just placed on my desk minutes earlier. Humanity is doomed. I am that 1% who is not in any 1%. What top 1% are you in? Leave a comment. And subscribe to this channel if you want to see more same videos.